Okay, I think I'm going live. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Yarn Journey Crochet podcast. I am your host, Holly. I live in North Carolina with my family. This is a podcast about crocheting, knitting, and occasionally some cross stitch or sewing. I'm sorry, it looks like I'm glitching, so I'm hoping it is okay. So I have been gone for a month. I know, a long time. Sorry, I'm using my laptop this time because my phone likes to cut me off at 47 minutes, so I am trying to do it on the computer, but I'm really blown out. So I just wanted to welcome everyone. Thank you all new subscribers. We have finally reached 1,000 subscribers, so stick around towards the end because we will be doing the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And welcome back, all returning subscribers. So like I said, I have been gone for a month and I have not done anything. I have just been busy with the holidays and recuperating, and now I'm sick, so hopefully that will be gone soon because my dad's supposed to be coming in 2 weeks. So yeah, so I am drinking some tea right now, which is a very red tea. This is the Celestial Seasoning. I don't remember the name of the tea brand, but this tea is Cranberry Vanilla Wonderland, and oh my gosh, it is so good. And this is the mug set that I got from my grandma. So it's this tea cup, and wait for it, guys. This cute little teapot comes with it. So when you sit your teacup in your teapot, it completes the picture of snowmen and birds and an owl and little deers and bunnies, and it makes me so happy. It's so cute. Okay. So I have no FOs. I have not done hardly anything in terms of crocheting and knitting, and I just started pressuring myself to get certain things done before Christmas, and I just decided I'm not going to do that to myself this year. So I took a step back and just tried to enjoy the season. So we will start with some whips. I just got to move my teacup. I don't want to ruin it. So I have filmed this before. I filmed the entire podcast, and the program I was using crashed on me. I was so mad. So I gotta find. Okay, so last time I was about right here on the blanket. So I have finished up the blue colors that I used for Colin's beanie. And then I added this color right here, which is really hard to pick up. But it is purples and greens. There's even pink, black in there. That was my Winifred colorway that I dyed up before Halloween that I wanted to use. Now, it's a DK weight, so that's probably why it isn't showing up as much. And then this is just a blue paint box yarn that I had, and then a light blue paint box yarn that I was just starting. And I stopped on the scrap blanket because I ran out of the ivory colorway that I was working with, which is fine, but I ended up buying white instead of ivory. So now there's 2 different color whites in here, but it's a scrap blanket, so I'm not even going to be irritated about it. Like, it is what it is, but I love it. So I'll give you guys a better view. I can't reach. So that is the full blanket. Now, I want this to be the size of a twin size bed. So hopefully the length will get there, but I'm probably going to have to add a little bit with a border, which I am not a border person. I hate borders because they take so much time and mine always end up wonky. But I'm going to do a border to make it a little bit wider. I have to tell you guys, this tea is amazing. My husband doesn't drink tea, but he likes this tea. So that says something. He is not a tea drinker, period. But when I start making some of this, he's like, is that good tea? So that is that scrap blanket. And I started the Bits and Bobs, which I am halfway through a row because I'm a professional. This is the Bits and Bobs by KF Jones of the Bakery Bears. And this, the color yarn, the one that has actual color and not white, is Knit Picks Felici in the colorway Hibiscus, which I tried making socks from. And then I'm holding it together with the Wool-like in the colorway Ivory. So I have done this blanket, started it, and restarted it probably 5 or 6 times. And I don't know if it's because of the way it was written or user error, because I am still new at knitting, that I completely messed it up. So, yeah, I am trying to complete that blanket, but it is very hard because I'm finding it difficult to do. And that is it for the scrap blankets, because I haven't done much on either of them. And next, this is something you guys haven't seen. I started my Christmas socks, which is from Holly Press Fibers. It's her Spearmint Forest self-striping colorway in her sheepish sock base, which is 75-25. I've been taking vitamins and my nails are growing. This never happens. My nails are always short. So now that my nails are growing, I'm like, oh my God, I have to be so careful with them. I don't want to break them. And then I was trying to put together my son's hockey stick, and I put the wrong color stick with the wrong color bottom because it's a kid's one, so it clicks on and off. And I broke my nail, and it hurt so bad because it like snapped beneath the nail line. Oh, it was the worst. So this is the way it's coming out, and I'm going to tell you right now that my lighting is going to do these colors no justice, because right now they're looking very dull, and in person they're very bright, and I love them. So I started doing this. This is a 68 stitch count because I'm trying to loosen my stitch gauge. So there's that, and this is what it looks like in the skein, or the ball, or the cake, or whatever's you want to call it. Super pretty. And I got the sock set, so it came with a coordinating mini skein. And I'm not using a pattern for this. It is just a sock recipe. But I got my sock recipe from Sock Matician's Toe Up Sock Recipe, which is Nathan Taylor. So I've just kind of started with his and formed it into my own little doohickey. So then I also made some progress on my Bad Wolf Girl Studios. This is Halloween sock that I was working on. So last time you guys, oh, I just lost my needle. Last time you guys saw this, I think I was still like closer to the toe. So I am going to find a coordinating yarn, which is, like I said, this lighting, guys, is terrible for those colors. I know my hand's like all up in the way. I am so sorry. Out of practice. It's been a month. And this is what it looks like in the ball. There we go, a little better. The side view is even better because you can actually see all the speckles. And that's the same sock recipe that I'm doing with the Christmas sock, except this one is 72 stitches because I started this one first. And I started loosening up my gauge while I was doing it and noticed that the sock was getting a little loose. So, I'm trying to find the pattern that I'm about to show you next because, here we go. So this is what I'm doing. I am making a rug. I am repurposing the yarn from a different pattern or project that I was doing. And this is by Brooke Cassell. It is the Tummy Time Nursery Rug. Now, I don't have a nursery, but I liked the way her rug looked, and it was the only one that actually looked round and not hexagonal, funky. So this is the start of my rug. And this is all done in single crochet. And this is the Loops and Threads Copenhagen in Fjord. And this may look familiar to people who have watched past episodes because it is the same colorway I was using for my Cabin in the Woods sweater, which I have decided I'm not going to do. Because I started doing the sleeve and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to finish the sleeve and I can go back and do more increases or decreases in the neck to make it smaller. And I realized it was killing my hands because not only is the yarn big, but when I make sweaters, I use a really, really, really tight gauge because I hate holes. And crochet gives you holes. So I was doing a really tight gauge and it was killing my wrist. Like 10 minutes into doing it, and my whole wrist just hurt and it was like giving shooting pains. And I was like, this is not worth it. I will do a similar looking sweater in a different weight of yarn, and I feel like that would be better because this winter here has not been cold enough for is this super bulky or bulky weight? I think it's super bulky weight yarn for a sweater. The coldest day so far we've had was in the low 40s. And it seems like every few days our weather just decides it's going to flip on us and give us a 60-degree day, almost 70. One day we had a 72-degree day. And I was like, this is freaking winter. Earth, can you stop? And then the next day it's like 40 again. And I'm like, what the heck? It got my kids sick because of the drastic changes. So having a super bulky weight yarn or super bulky weight sweater is not realistic for me. Maybe it was when we lived in Virginia and there were, a couple weeks where it got down into the high teens, like 19, 18, whatever. But it's just not... It doesn't make sense to do that. So I will be doing another sweater in a different weight yarn some other time. I did start 2 other designs, one of which is more Christmassy, so you guys probably won't see it until next year. And the other one is still wintry, but I have to order different yarn because I started making it and it was bowing because one yarn, although they were the same weight, was not the same in loftiness, I guess you could say, which was going to be a cowl. So if I can get the yarn for that, hopefully I can get that out before winter ends. If not, I think I might make a collection for next winter. So I might just stop working on that and try and do like a spring collection or spring stuff now so I can get a little bit ahead of the game, but we will see. So that is it for whips. Now, I wanted to show you guys some of the things that I got for Christmas that were crafty / related, I guess. So the first thing is what I bought myself. Well, I bought it with a gift card that my dad sent me. And I've been wanting interchangeable needles for a while. So I got the Loops and Threads set, which is $70 at Michael's. But I had a 50% off coupon, and I also can get the military or teacher's discount because I homeschool and my husband's military. So I used that plus the 50% off, and I paid less than $30 or around $30-ish for this for a whole set. Mind you, this goes from 2.75 millimeters all the way up to 10 millimeters, I believe. Yeah, it's a size 15, so I'm pretty sure that's 10 millimeters. And trying to find a set that has all these sizes puts you well into the $100 range if you were to get them from any other brand. And I was looking at a few, and the one that I really wanted was the Chowgu set, but it was almost $120. So I was like, I'll just get this one. But I have noticed quality-wise is definitely not as well done as some of the others. So a lot of the times these will come unscrewed as you're working. And I've noticed that, and that was something that was really irritating to me. But the one thing I do like is it comes with these little adapters right here, this metal bar, so you can attach your cords together to make an even longer cord instead of buying additional cords. And it comes in a case. So that was that one. And then my sister got me the Crochet Style pattern book, which is beautiful, but they use a lot of bulky weight, super bulky weight yarn in here. There are a few that are worsted and some of them that are really cute, but they have a lot of patterns in here that have like basket weave or like mittens, which I don't like crocheted mittens. As much as I wanted to like them, I've tried. They also use a lot of puff stitches, but this is the one that I really like right here. I think that is super duper pretty that I really want to get. And then they have this cute little bow on the back that I'm going to probably make Emma. So this was what I got also. And I'm super happy and I can't wait to look at it. Although, some, like I said, some of them I probably won't be able to make because of the weight of yarn. So I showed you guys the tea set that my grandma got me. This is another thing. And I wanted to show you that because I feel like people who crochet and knit, we love tea, we love coffee, we love books, which I'm going to be showing you guys some books as well. So I wanted to show you that because, one, it is adorable. Like, come on. Look at those little deer. Oh, they're just so cute. Okay, next up, my grandma made me some of these. This is plastic canvas. And I got the spring set. And this is lavender. I'm not sure which one this is. I'm not sure. I want to say chive or something. Like something that's like herby with white flowers. Daffodil. And tulips. And these are so adorable. They've been on my wall since I've gotten them. And it was so funny because my grandma would call me and she would say she was doing my aunt's who got the the Halloween one and my sister got the fall set. I got the spring set and she was always complaining to me. She's like, I hate this stupid thing, the way they make me do it. They have me cut out the thing first and then start doing it, and it's a pain in the butt, and if I count wrong, I got to start over and get more. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Grandma. Like, you know, not knowing she was making me a set. And now I feel bad because she would complain to me all the time about how annoying these things were to make. And last but not least, oh my gosh, guys, my son's standing outside the door. Look at this little sheep. Oh my God, I love it. So it is a sheep that is knitting in a wooden rocking chair. Like, come on. It is so stinking cute. And I believe this is needle felted. I don't know if she needle felted it or she found it needle felted and she bought it. But Emma said that the sheep is knitting a sweater. And I need a name for this little, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but we need a name. This will be like the podcast, what is it called? Podcast mascot. So we need to name our mascot, who is the sheep in those little glasses. Oh my god, it's so cute. It's like cute aggression where you get angry because of how cute they are. You're like, oh, it's so cute. So that is pretty much the last crafty thing. The rest are books. And I feel like that's what's been taking up a lot of my craft time lately is I've been reading a lot. So this would be going on 5th month. In the last 5 months, starting in September 4th, I have read 10 books, which is kind of crazy. I don't normally read that much. But I have just been loving reading again because I have not done it in so long. And I will show you what I got book-wise. I'm missing one. I got the Hocus Pocus book with the sequel that comes with it in one book. And I've read that it was a letdown, but I still want to read it because I'm one of those people that don't necessarily think of it as a critical-minded person, like the way they write necessarily, or unless it's something different, which you'll see what I'll talk about later. So a lot of times I think of just the story, the plot, the characters. If I like them, I like them. Pretty much how I am with movies. There's movies that I love that people are like, that is garbage. And I'm like, but I love it, so I don't care. So I bought that, but that's downstairs because I was going to read it with Emma because she loves Hocus Pocus too. I'm trying to drink my tea before it goes cold because it's already going cold on me. So my husband bought me these ones, which is Practical Magic and The Rules of Magic by Allison Hoffman. Now, I have seen Practical Magic a million times. So reading the book has been a real different experience, which I will talk about later because I want to kind of talk about what I'm reading. Because I feel like I wanted to start doing a what am I reading section because I've noticed a lot of people doing that. And I actually really enjoy hearing about what people are reading because it gives me ideas of what I want to read next. So I got these two. And then I also got this, Girls of Paper and Fire. And reading the little, like, excerpt or, like, preview, I don't know what these things are called because I'm not a professional book reviewer. It seemed really good. And I read the intro just to get a better idea of what it was about. And it seems super interesting. Hold on. You can't ask Dad to put your shoes on? No, I'm not done. I'm in the middle. Come here. Messy face. So that was the next book that I bought. And then I checked out a couple of books from the library, and this was one of them. And I have been fascinated with English cooking since I started watching The Great British Bake Off, which I got one of Paul Hollywood's cookbooks. My sister got that for me too, which is his Pies and Puds. But this was super interesting to me because I love Harry Potter and anything English cooking. Yeah. So I will be making some recipes out of here. So I'm trying to like take my time, but also not make podcasts like super duper long. So into the what I'm reading section, which this is a book that I just finished. Excuse me. not too long ago. And let me tell you guys, I love this author. Her name is Sherilyn Kenyon. She is amazing. Amazing, 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 amazing. And I have read at least 10 books of hers, at least. And this is the book that I am talking about. It's called Born of Legend. It is the League Nemesis Rising series, which this is number 9. So there were spots where I was a little confused because this is the 9th book in the series, and she has a tendency to start with one character and then pull the characters in to later books, and sometimes she won't always give you the full background of some of these characters because they're brief, so they're not a starring role in the book, but a lot of the times you need their backstory to completely understand. So she has this amazing, amazing way of bringing so many characters to life in a book. And this book was 736 pages long. Can you please stop hitting everything? You're making everything shake. So it was 736 pages long, and it took me 10 days to read. So that can tell you how good the book was. And I would say the last 200 to 250 pages I read all day, all night until about 6 o'clock in the next morning when I went to sleep because it was so amazing. And she just has this amazing writing style that puts you in the character's shoes, what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and then can step out and tell you what their reactions are and their facial cues, and then it'll jump into another character to show you how they're seeing it and feeling. And it's truly amazing. And the fact that she can do so many dynamic characters in one story, please stop hitting or you'll go downstairs. It's amazing. So the story is about a man who truly had the crappiest life ever. Like borderline the worst I've read about so far. And it is a man who's been beaten by his family, neglected. He's been thrown into prison by his own grandmother as a child. And if you can imagine a young 10-year-old boy going into prison with full-grown men, you can imagine what happened to the poor boy. And he was just beaten severely. He had a thrill kill, which is not only a bounty to bring him back dead. It is, you can do whatever you want to this person. You can torture them. You can do whatever you want. But when you bring them in, you'll get your bounty. And that was set up by his own family. And he, of course, meets this amazing woman who brings to light a totally different side to a person. The loving side, the compassionate and caring side, and obviously falls in love because that's just how her books are. And she has this way of talking about love and compassion that you just can't fathom someone loving another person to the extent that they do in their books. And it's amazing to read. And I am an emotional person, but this woman can choke me up in like 2 sentences and I'm in tears. I am bawling my eyes out. And she obviously meets this woman, and they go on and throughout the story of him being sold into slavery, and she saves him, and all kinds of other things, which hopefully I didn't spoil anything just now, which I probably did. I'm sorry. But yes, that book was amazing. I definitely recommend you guys reading it. Now, I'm not a professional book reviewer, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just telling you what I think. So, the next book, because I finished that one, I started reading this one. And this, if you've seen the movie, they're completely different. The characters are the same, but they're not. like in the book, Antonia, which is one of Sally's daughters, is the younger daughter in the movie. But in the book, she's the older daughter, and she has red hair. And just the inconsistencies from the book to the movie is a little hard for me to grasp because I love the movie so much. I loved the characters, the way they acted, and, you know, that. But the backstory, you get more backstory, and like I said, there are just some inconsistencies. Like in the book, Michael and Sally don't own their own home. Michael moves in with her and the aunts and the kids, or when they have kids and stuff. So there's little inconsistencies like that, and I'm not sure I like her writing style. She writes very much on the outside, where like Sherilyn Kenyon, she puts you in the shoes of the characters. She tells you how they feel, what they look like, or what they're thinking, what they're saying. Where in this one, you're seeing it very much on the outside. So Sally did this, or, you know, that kind of thing. And it feels a little disconnected. I want to know how they feel. And she tells you, but it's in a way that you want to feel it. You know, you want to put yourself in their shoes, and it's hard to because it's so on the outside. And she kind of does this like, so when Jillian leaves Sally, okay, to run away with a boy and they don't see each other for a very long time, she'll say, oh, Jillian decides to leave and go get married. And then she'll say, but Sally won't know that she's not going to see her for another 20 years. But then she'll jump to a relationship that Jillian's in. And it's confusing to say the least. And this book has been praised as being an amazing book. And I'm not saying she's not an amazing writer. It's just not a style that I'm used to. And it's a little bit harder for me to grasp. So I want to like this book, and I'm hoping I like this book because I have the second one, which is the prequel, which talks all about the ants. So once I read this, I'm going to read this. But if I don't like this, I might not read the second one. And that's just, I would hate that because I love the movie so, so much. And I was hoping it would be like, you know, the Harry Potter series where the timeline's fairly accurate. Everything's pretty accurate, but it fills in the things that you were missing from the movie because the movie had to be short. So that's what I was hoping with this. But it seems like there was a lot of creative liberties taken with the movie that were not in the book. So, yes, that is something I was not expecting. And we'll see if I like it. I hope I do. I really do. Because I'll be so disappointed if I don't. So, this is a short podcast. So we'll just get into the giveaway stuff. So I am doing the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And it was not as big as I wanted, but it's still a decent size. And I have to apologize right away because somehow my son got blue permanent marker on this book, which is a giveaway book. But it is the Under 100 crochet collection. There are 10 patterns in here of different yarn weights. Most of them are anywhere from, most of them I would say are fingering. So you will get this, plus 2 balls of the Knit Picks Chroma fingering in the color Wildflower. I'm trying to, there we go. So you can kind of see the different colors there. Now, because this is fingering, there is 396 yards in this little 100-gram ball. So you'll get that. Plus, I've been waiting to do this because I've been waiting on this to come in the mail. So this is a little notions pouch, which is in this really adorable floral pattern, and then it has like this little lace detailing on one side of the zipper. So you will get this little notions pouch, and inside you will get a set of stitch markers. I would say there's about 6 to 8, maybe a little more, yarn needles in there. And it comes in a nice tube so you don't lose them, because I know I've lost mine. Plus, you will get a set of crochet hooks. Now, I have this same exact set. It is an off-brand, but I would say it's very similar to the brand they're copying, which I'm not sure which one it is. But you will be getting a 2.5 millimeter up to a 6 millimeter crochet hook. So you'll get a set of crochet hooks, some yarn needles and stitch markers, yarn, and a pattern book. Now, to enter, you have to like the video, subscribe, and answer the prompt of what is your favorite snow day activity. It could be anything from curling up on the couch with a book, drinking tea, having hot cocoa, going sledding, or making a snowman. So it can be anything. This is open internationally. I will be giving you a week. So until the 13th of January. I will probably do a podcast then, because in 2 weeks my dad will be here. So I'm not going to podcast while he's here. So I believe that is it. Not much yarny related stuff. A lot of it was books, but like I said, I have a feeling that people that like yarn, they tend to also like tea or coffee or books. Like, it's just in our realm of coziness that we like. So that is it. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will be back in a week to let you know who won. So I will see you guys later. Bye.